So I think in another video, I had mentioned that in Lazy Monkey Yoga, we work smarter, not harder. We want to work smart. What does working smart mean? Well, working smart means that we are going to take care of our body. We're going to take it easy. We're going to go real gentle. We're going to start real slow. And we're going to make sure that everything is fine-tuned and in order and strong from the root, from the foundation, before moving on to levels of craziness. You know, one of the reasons why people damage their body is because their body isn't prepared. It's not adequately prepared to do what it's going to do. Like when people snap their muscles and joints and things like that and tear things, it's because the body was unprepared, unready to deal with the stress that the individual practitioner put on to the joint or the bone or the muscle or whatever. And you can injure yourself doing yoga. Absolutely. There are people who come to me that have been practicing really vigorous, hardcore forms of power yoga for years, Jiva Mukti yoga and stuff, with all kinds of injuries, shoulder problems, neck problems, back problems, torn muscles or pulled muscles and things like that. So yoga isn't necessarily good for you. It's not necessarily healthy for you. That is a lie. That yoga is necessarily good for you. There's a lot of styles of yoga that are absolutely not good for the body. Some people might not like that, but it's true. It's true because it's also scientifically proven to be harmful. So it's not just my opinion. Wu Wei. What is Wu Wei? Action by non-action. Or refraining from action, or accomplishing everything by doing nothing, you know? And, you know, that concept of Wu Wei, which is non-forcing, not forcing things to be a particular way, not forcing it. You can really, really damage your body if you try to force it into positions it is not ready to go into. And that's where Wu Wei comes in crucially important in the Lazy Monkey Yoga practice. Wu Wei is all about not forcing, imposing your will on your body to try to get it to behave or act a certain way, or kind of turn it into a pretzel in some kind of posture. So that's why when I say we work smarter, not harder, we move at a slower pace than other people, and that's just fine. It's going to take you a while to, let's say, perfect a particular posture, you know, till it feels right, until it feels comfortable, until you're at home in it, until you're able to really feel the nuance of it and the way the energy in your body is moving when you're stretching, twisting, folding, inverting. You will feel the energy, the chi. You will feel your chi, your own chi, your body chi, connecting with earth chi and heavenly chi when you finally arrive at the fullest expression of the pose for you. And that's a very important concept, fullest expression of a pose. You'll hear that terminology used. That phrase, fullest expression of a pose. The fullest expression of a pose, an asana or posture, is different for everyone. Everyone is different. We do not all have the same kind of body. And remember that the Hatha yoga, the Indian style yogas that you've been grown up to think in your mind to be yoga, or believe that's what yoga is, that was a physical discipline that was created for teenage boys, for men. And a lot of these practices were for men only for a very long time. It was very male-dominated society, culture, and also spiritual practices were reserved for men, not women. So a lot of the yoga philosophy in Hinduism in India can be very damaging to women's reproductive systems. Yeah. So, I mean, there's reasons why these yogas were considered to be dangerous and you could harm yourself. And practices of meditation can be harmful to an individual who's not stable, someone who's prone to psychosis or schizophrenia or depression. You know, there's people talk about yoga and Kundalini yoga and spiritual awakening and the dangers of all of these things. They're quite real. Trying to practice a posture that your body's not ready to go into it, you can damage yourself, including your arteries and your blood vessels and your internal organs. If you're an unstable person, if you're not grounded, okay, if you're not mentally stable and you're not medicated, you know, to take care of any kind of behavioral health issues, you can experience a lot of problems mentally and emotionally practicing different forms of meditation that aren't right for you, that aren't right for you. You see what I'm saying? So putting the principle of Wu Wei, which is not forcing, in the forefront of your practice is crucially important, because it means that you're not going to try to make something happen that's not going to happen. You're just going to have to go with the flow. That's what Wu Wei is all about. We're going to talk more about it. We will be talking about these things a lot, but the least of what you need to know today when it comes to Wu Wei is the principle of doing by not doing, acting by not acting, not forcing, not imposing your will upon your body, others, and the universe, allowing things to happen on their own and be present for it. So when you find yourself somehow sliding down into a split, you've never been in the splits before, but suddenly now, because of practicing all your lunges and practicing all of your hamstring stretches and working with your alignment and understanding how your body moves and moving at a pace that it can tolerate, you know, the progress, then when you find yourself in the split, then it'll be a joyous occasion. Then you can go buy yourself a cupcake. Then you can throw yourself a party, you see, when that happens. But we're not in a hurry. It's like, I'll just give you an example, like my earplugs. There's weed in these earplugs. These are cannabis earplugs. There's actually buds in there. I love them. Okay. But what is the point? The point is that lobe stretching, okay, stretching out your ears. You can't just like one day have your ears pierced and the next day shove 0 gauge or double 0 gauge plugs through your ears. You have a lot of damage, right? That's something that takes months to do. It takes months. It takes patience. Now, I wasn't as patient as other people. I actually tried to stretch past what you see here now. This is a 0 gauge. I tried to stretch to a double 0 gauge. My body was not having it. I reached my maximum. Boom, done. I got to 0 gauge, and then my body said, all right, Philip, that is as much as your lobes want to stretch. Now you're going to leave them alone. Because if you try to stretch them any more than that, you're going to have infection. You're going to have swelling. You're going to have irritated tissue. You're going to, you're going to have blowouts. You know, you're going to lose your earlobes. So the point is that I was able to stretch to a 0 gauge. I'm very happy with it. I've always wanted plugs. They're very cool. They always looked really cool. I never ear stretched before when I was younger because obviously you don't want to decide you don't want plugs and then walk away with giant gaping holes in your ears. Well, I'm 42 years old. It's time for me to have plugs, and I don't care whether or not my ears are big and loby now. You see? I waited until I was ready. And then I did what I wanted to do. But I stretched at a rate in which my ears would tolerate it. And it's the same thing with lazy monkey yoga. I could not give you a better example. Your body is going to open up naturally, organically, at its own time, at its own pace. And the big point is that it's really about regularity of your practice. Regularity is very important. you need to practice regularly. At least 3 times a week. You should be getting down on the ground and doing some lazy monkey yoga. Deep stretching, breathing, listening to the body, and checking in. Preferably you would do a little lazy monkey every single day. But you can get as just much a benefit out of doing about 15 to 20 minutes or a half an hour of lazy monkey stretches a day, every single day, or 5 days a week, as you would practicing for like an entire 75 minutes. If someone practices a 60-minute class twice a week and somebody practices a little bit of lazy monkey yoga, say 15 to 20 minutes a day, every single day, the person who practices a little bit for a prolonged period of time will accumulate more chi over time just by the basis of the regularity of the practice. Does that make sense? In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which is a yogic text that comes from the Hindu canon, Patanjali says that it is by dedication and practice for a prolonged period of time that reaps the ultimate reward, that reaps the ultimate results. That's what you want, the results. What are the results that we're hoping for? I guess that's a good question. Is it enlightenment? What is the point of all of this? Well, let's keep it really, really simple. The simple answer is that we practice lazy monkey yoga for our health. It's for our health. It's qigong. It's energy work. We do it for our healthy mind and healthy spirit and our healthy body, to maintain our vitality, to be able to get up and down and up and down and up and down off the ground and spring to your feet. As we get older, it gets harder to get up and down off the ground, right? If you practice lazy monkey yoga, you should be able to get up and down off the ground at no matter what age. Yeah. You should be able to stand erect, with a good posture, breathe deeply, be intimately connected with your internal organs. Those are the things that we're hoping for from lazy monkey yoga. You don't have to set enlightenment as your goal. Setting enlightenment for your goal is really, really high. That's a really, really high goal. And remember what we talked about when it comes to expectations. Keep your expectations low. But that is Wu Wei. That is what Wu Wei is all about. Not forcing, allowing things to happen. And they will happen at the right time.